The pickup line, "Did it hurt when you fell from heaven?" is a common example of attempted communication. This phrase has been widely used for decades, leading to its lack of originality. Its predictable nature often results in a negative reception from the listener. The absence of novelty renders the communication ineffective and unengaging. This demonstrates how overused expressions can lead to communication failure. The line, "Are you a magician? Because whenever I look at you, everyone else disappears," is presented. This phrase exemplifies a common communication pitfall in social interactions. Its ineffectiveness stems from sounding memorized and overly theatrical, lacking authenticity. Such delivery can appear insincere, failing to convey genuine charm or interest. The phrase, "Do you believe in love at first sight?" or "Should I walk by again?" is a common pickup line. This line is often perceived as a rehearsed joke rather than genuine communication. Its lack of spontaneity makes the interaction feel contrived and insincere. Such pre-scripted phrases typically lead to communication failure due to their artificiality. The pickup line, "Is your name Google? Because you have everything I've been searching for is analyzed." This phrase is too closely associated with prevalent internet memes. Its lack of originality often leads to a cringe smile rather than genuine engagement. This alignment with memes causes it to fail as an effective communication starter. The expression, "Are you Wi-Fi? Because I'm feeling a connection," is a common pickup line. This phrase is often used in social interactions, particularly in dating contexts. Its failure stems from being an overused tech-related joke. The initial reaction is often a brief, polite laugh. This is typically followed by an awkward silence, indicating a lack of genuine engagement. The line fails to create a lasting impact or foster meaningful connection due to its predictability. The statement, "If beauty were time, you'd be eternity," is an example of communication failure. This line often fails due to its overly dramatic and hyperbolic nature. Such extreme exaggeration can lead to confusion rather than genuine appreciation. The recipient may struggle to process it as a sincere compliment, hindering effective communication. The phrase, "Do you have a map? Because I just got lost in your eyes," is a common pickup line. This line is often perceived as ineffective in contemporary communication. Its ineffectiveness stems from its outdated and unoriginal nature. The phrasing feels reminiscent of dialogue from 1950s cinema. This historical context makes it seem cliché and lacking in genuine sentiment today. Consequently, it fails to resonate or impress in modern social interactions. The pun, "Are you French? Because Eiffel for you" is presented in a communication context. This specific line exemplifies a communication failure due to excessive pun usage. Over-reliance on puns often elicits groans rather than genuine amusement from the audience. This indicates a low appeal and ineffectiveness, resulting in a breakdown of intended humor. The phrase, "Are you a parking ticket? Because you've got 'fine' written all over you," is presented. This statement is an example of a common, predictable pickup line. Its predictability renders it largely ineffective in communication. The recipient is likely to anticipate the punchline due to its widespread use. This leads to a forced or polite reaction, rather than genuine engagement or interest. Effective communication requires originality and unexpected elements to capture attention. Communication often fails due to a lack of genuine engagement and effort in initial interactions. A common example is the use of generic greetings, such as, "Hey baby," in digital or personal exchanges. This phrase is problematic because it conveys a lack of originality and personal investment. Its generic nature immediately signals disinterest and minimal effort from the sender. Such greetings often discourage further interaction, leading to a breakdown in communication. The compliment, "Your parents must be bakers because you're a cutie pie," is presented as an example. This specific phrase is identified as ineffective in communication. Its ineffectiveness stems from its childish tone, failing to convey genuine appreciation. Such an approach often elicits confusion or an awkward laugh, rather than a positive response. The question, "I lost my phone number. Can I have yours?" is a common communication attempt. This line often fails due to its universally known punchline. Its predictability makes the interaction unoriginal and unengaging. Such predictable lines frequently elicit a sarcastic smile rather than genuine interest. The statement, "If you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber," is presented as an example of communication. This specific phrase is categorized within the dad joke territory of humor. Dad jokes are characterized by their often predictable, pun-based, and unoriginal nature. The reception of such a joke typically elicits a groan rather than laughter from the audience. This reaction signifies a failure in effective communication, as the intended humorous effect is not achieved. The communication breakdown occurs due to the joke's perceived corny and unoriginal qualities. The phrase, "Are you made of copper and tellurium?" because your kute is analyzed for communication effectiveness. This communication attempt is deemed ineffective due to its niche appeal. It targets a specific audience with specialized scientific knowledge. Consequently, its broad effectiveness is significantly limited, leading to communication failure. The statement, "I must be a snowflake because I've fallen for you," is presented as an example. This line is identified as ineffective due to its overly sentimental nature. The recipient's response is a polite smile, indicating a lack of genuine connection. This reaction signifies an absence of true engagement, highlighting communication failure. The line, "I was blinded by your beauty. I'm going to need your name and number for insurance," is presented. This statement is intended as an overture, aiming to initiate communication or express interest. However, it fails due to its comedic nature, resembling a stand-up routine rather than a genuine approach. The humor, while potentially amusing, ultimately renders the overture unimpressive and ineffective. The phrase, "You must be tired because you've been running through my mind all day," is presented for analysis. This specific line exemplifies a common communication pitfall. Its ineffectiveness stems from its nature as a classic cliché. A cliché is a phrase or opinion that is overused and betrays a lack of original thought. The seen-it-before quality diminishes its impact and originality, leading to communication failure. Communication can fail when intended messages are poorly constructed or delivered. An example is the pickup line, "Are you a bank loan? Because you've got my interest." This phrase attempts to be witty, but often falls flat. Its failure stems from excessive cheesiness or lack of genuine appeal. Instead of generating true interest, it typically elicits only a half-hearted laugh. Effective communication requires authenticity and a deeper connection, not just cleverness. The phrase, "Are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see," is a common pickup line. This line is widely recognized as highly unoriginal and cliched. Its lack of novelty often leads to an unenthusiastic or negative reaction from the recipient. Therefore, this example demonstrates ineffective communication due to its predictable nature. This segment analyzes a common communication failure, specifically focusing on the use of predictable phrases. The phrase, "Do you work at Starbucks because I like you a latte?" is presented as an example. This line is widely recognized and frequently used in social interactions. Its commonality leads to a lack of originality and predictability in communication. The predictable nature often results in a negative reception, such as a coffee-related eye roll. The phrase, "Did we go to school together? I could swear we had chemistry," is an example of a communication attempt. This particular line relies on a common, overused wordplay technique. Such wordplay often elicits only a superficial reaction, like a light chuckle. It typically fails to achieve deeper engagement or meaningful connection with the audience. Therefore, this line is deemed ineffective in fostering substantial interaction. The phrase, "If you were a triangle, you'd be acute," one exemplifies a communication failure. This line is considered overly corny, lacking broad appeal in most social contexts. Its humor often resonates only with a niche audience, such as those with a math teacher sense of humor. Such attempts at humor typically fail to achieve widespread positive reception due to their limited charm. The statement, "I think there's something wrong with my eyes because I can't take them off you," is presented as a pickup line. This phrase is often perceived as rehearsed or unoriginal in social interactions. Its lack of spontaneity hinders the formation of a genuine connection between individuals. The recipient's response is typically a polite nod, indicating a superficial acknowledgement. This gesture signifies a failure to engage on a deeper, more meaningful level. Consequently, the communication attempt is ineffective, failing to achieve its intended purpose of connection. Communication can fail when an interaction is perceived as too intense too soon. An example is the phrase, "You must be a time traveler because I see you in my future." This line is intended to be a compliment or an icebreaker. However, its intensity can create an awkward, cringe smile reaction. Such an approach hinders comfortable interaction rather than fostering it. The phrase, "Is your dad a boxer? Because you're a knockout," is a common example of a pickup line. This line is considered ineffective due to its nature as an extremely old cliché. Its lack of originality and outdated quality consistently elicit a negative reaction. Such expressions often result in an eye roll, indicating communication failure.